All right, great. So um, by the end of this session, you'll be able to you'll get to understand what GitHub is, and you should be confidently able to log into your GitHub and identify the main areas on the dashboard and understand what each part is used for. And you'll also be able to navigate to repositories. You'll understand what pull requests and issues are, and much more. Then, besides just the GitHub platform, remember we might be creating our projects locally. Then we want to push them to GitHub. So one of the simplest way to do it is through another platform called Git. So Git enables you to push local files to GitHub and to commit changes to the files that you have pushed. So you can as well create a repository or a storage on GitHub and be able to use it locally by cloning it through Git. So before we can proceed, I would like you to navigate to this page where we have the downloads from the Git platform. So I'll just copy the link and share it in the chat so that you can download it as we do the sign up for GitHub. So it's pasted in the chat. Just navigate to Git page, then you download Git depending on the type of machine that you're using. It could be a Mac or a Windows laptop. So it will take you to the downloads page and you choose the one that suits your machine. So once you download Git, when you click on the download link, you can download the latest version. It will always show you the latest version of Git. And you're supposed to click where it allows you to download the latest version of Git. So as it's downloading, perhaps let me allow one of you to share their screen because mine is already signed up. So when you just need to go to search for GitHub on your browser, then it will take you to this page where we have the first link as github.com. Yeah, Douglas, you can share your screen, please. Okay, so you can have you started? Have you downloaded Git already?
No. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Just click on the first link. Yeah, it's
So
already
I've
downloaded.
clicked on this one is the latest.
Yes.
254 64 bits.
Yeah, that is the latest version.
So it downloads pretty quick. So then I go to open file. And then that's the license. Next.
Yeah, so there you need to select where it's going to be installed. Then click on next.
So I want to put it on the desktop.
Yeah, it will have a shortcut on the desktop.
Okay. So what?
Just click on next. You let it decide the default branch name.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is also another crucial part where you can you're supposed to pick the environment where what the platforms it can use. So we have use Git from Git Bash only. So this it normally provides a UI for Git Bash, but you can also select it to operate from the command line. So I recommend you use the command line because that option that is the one of the simplest options to use.
So this second option, right?
Yeah, it's selected already. Click on next.
Oh, excuse me. I think mine is showing a different. Mine is showing different.
Okay, let's finish up with Douglas. Then you can share your screen. Click on next. 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 Yeah, the default terminal. Then next. Next. Then you now install.
So finish.
Yeah. So those are just the release notes. So you can open another tab and type GitHub to
Okay.
sign, or you already signed up on GitHub.
I am signed up because I already had an account, so I was
Okay.
I was already signed up here.
All right. So Michael, you can share your screen.
So yeah, let me stop sharing now.
Yeah, can you see my screen?
Still loading. Yeah, it's now visible.
Yeah, so these what is coming up. I think it looks a little bit different from what I saw there. So
It is the same.
up to
Yeah,
this it was okay. Then next.
yeah, it's similar to what Douglas had.
So here is where I saw it different. I just say next.
It's just it just requires you to allow Git to be used. So you can click on next.
Okay. What about you?
Then you let Git use its default branch name as the master. So click on next. The second one is recommended. Click on next. Yes, the first option. Next.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Next. The first option is okay. Yeah, the default terminal is okay.
Okay. That's okay.
Fast forward, yes. Next.
Should I check
Next.
this one too?
No, just check the first one.
Okay. I think that's the very initial video. I think that's why I'd seen like it's different. Should be okay now.
Yeah. Have you also signed up on GitHub?
Not yet.
Oh, so share your screen. You take us to the browser so that any other person who has not signed up can also do it.
Okay. Launch.
Share your screen. You can't see it.
Sorry, I didn't get what are you saying?
You can't see your screen. You haven't started sharing yet.
Okay.
And so this one, we will use it after we are signed up on GitHub because we need to introduce ourselves to it. Then we commit the changes through this command line. So you can minimize it and go to your browser. Then type GitHub.
Just that.
That second link. Then sign in.
I'll have to create an account then.
Yeah, now that you don't have an account, so you sign up with your email. You type in your email, then choose a password, and the password should be unique with different characters and symbols.
Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead. I'll do that.
How about you, Terry? Have you been able to sign up and to download Git?
I'm still trying from my side to sign up.
Okay, kindly share your screen.
Okay. I'm trying to share, but I think my computer has freezed on my side. Let me try again.
So how far are you? Have you signed up or have you installed Git?
Yes, I have. I'm in the part where on the browser side.
Oh,
The second
okay.
last step before the signing up, yeah.
All right. How about you, Sami?
Yes, I was able to recover my account. I had an account,
Okay.
so I recovered.
All right. Have you installed Git yet?
Yes, I already followed up and that did it, but it's
Okay.
just so, empty. Maybe I share, you see if it's okay.
Yeah, you can share your screen.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
So that's how it loads us.
Also, this is
This is just installed Git.
okay.
Yes.
Did you install? Did you use the link that I sent?
Not the one that you shared. Not the link that you shared. I had followed the link on the past video.
Oh,
So this
okay.
I did a bit earlier. Yes.
Yeah, this is another version,
Okay. I
but it
can
still,
reinstart.
but it still works the same way.
Okay.
Terry, did it go through? So Terry, if you're done, you just confirm it to us so that we can proceed. So once you sign in, this is the interface you get. Once you sign in, this is your main dashboard. So the top navigation bar contains, first of all, this part where you can navigate to the home. You can navigate to issues, pull requests, projects, discussions, code spaces, copilot, and so on. Then on this part also, you can access your repositories. So one of the most common terms that you'll come across is repository. So a repository is a container for your project. Let's say you have files, codes, and version histories. They are contained in the repository. So if you are new to GitHub, you may not have anything on the repositories because you still haven't created one. But we are just going to learn how to create one almost immediately. So to create a new repositories, they are normally found here. The ones that you've already created, like the ones I've created already, are found here. And when you're on the GitHub dashboard, when you're on the main dashboard, they are normally listed here. So here we have the ones that are listed depending on the repositories you've created. So if you want to create a new repository, you can simply click on new. you want to access the one that was previously created, you can click on any of the ones that are listed. So you can see like this one here is one that I had already created. So it acts like a storage of these files. So we have this as the file that was uploaded, and you can see it even gives you the timelines in which these changes were made. It also gives you the total number of commits. So talking of a commit is a saved change in the project history. So think of it like saving a checkpoint. So anything you do will be recorded as a commit. Then every file will contain every repository will contain a README file. And as we will be creating the repositories, we'll also see how we can create a README file. So a README file is a special file shown on the home page of a repository. It usually describes what the project is about. Here, this is where you can also explain how to use it, how to use whatever it is that you have you have added on GitHub, and it usually describes what the project actually is and how to use it and how to contribute to it. So that is it about the README. So if I come back to the repository, so you can see the README can be previewed just on the repository even without opening the README file, and you can edit the file. So when you go to edit the file, the README file, this is where it takes you. So this, I used some simple code here in HTML to make what you're seeing now. So to come up with such an effect, you have to use, it's allowed, you can use some simple code to make this. Then it has explanations of what you are doing or what you're currently doing, or how some people can contribute to the project, how they can reach you, and so on. So this is for demo purposes. You can make yours the way you would want it to be like. Then another common term that you will come across when using GitHub is cloning. So cloning is actually making a local copy of a GitHub repository on your computer. So in Git Bash, you will see in Git, we will use a command called git clone. So to come up with a clone of this, to create a local copy of the same repository on our local computer, then we'll use git clone as the command. Or there is also another way you can clone it from the command line. Just copy the URL that takes you to this is the URL. You copy it and you clone it from your command line. So let's go right ahead and navigate to home before we can create our first repository. So to create a new repository, like I've said before, you click on new. So when you click on new, it allows you to either create a new repository or import a repository from elsewhere. But in this case, we just want to create. So when creating a repository, the first thing you need to do is to give it a name. So you can name it in whatever way. So you can name it in relation to what you need it to do or how you need it to be like. Let me just name it as ABC. Then a repository normally contains the owner's name as the prefix, then stroke the repository name. So here, this is your username. The owner, it is identified as the username is what identifies the owner. Then you can have a description, which is optional. Then you can choose to have your repository as either public or private. So of course, public allows anyone on the internet to see the repository, and you get to choose who can commit, who can make changes to the repository. Then you can choose to privatize it so that you can be the only one to see the repository, or you can give permissions to people to see the repository. So here the control depends on you as the user. Then you can add a README file. When you're ready, you can add a README file, but if you just want to create a repository, then you can choose to also add the README file later on. Then, of course, we have the gitignore is what uses, it is what chooses files not to track. You can choose some files not to track from a list of templates that GitHub will provide. Then you can choose the licensing. So a license tells others what they can do and what they can't do to your code. If you have created something like a software or something like that is supposed to be used by other people, you can choose to charge them, or you can make them buy the license to access that. So you are when you create the repository, of course, it will go into your personal account. So having selected those, you can now create a repository. And once you create the repository, you can be able to commit changes to it. And you can even use it locally. So it normally provides you with a link. So this URL here is what you can copy if you wanted to clone it. So I'll take any questions up to this point.
So in this case, did you make it public or private?
I didn't make any change, so it remained on public. So that means anyone on the internet, if they search for a file that is named the same way I named mine, they can access it. But they can't commit changes. They can't commit anything to it before I allow them. So I can be the one to choose who can commit to the
And how do you do that?
repository.
How do you give rights, and how do you allow and not allow?
So normally we have this part here, pull requests. So a request to merge changes from one branch into another is normally displayed here. So this is also where you welcome. This is also what gives you the permission to merge the changes that can be made by other people. So right now you might not be able to understand everything in depth. So maybe we just deal with the very basic things. Then along the way, you'll get to understand how all these things work. Then up here we also have things like you might also need to understand what a fork is. So a fork is a personal copy of someone else's repository on your GitHub account. So it's normally used when you want to suggest changes or to contribute to someone else's project. That's what a fork does. Then the star is a way of it's kind of like bookmarking, or it's like liking a repository that you find useful or interesting. So this is definitely someone else's repository that you like. You can start them, you can bookmark them, and when you want to access them easily, you can always navigate to that list. Then watch is a way to follow activity in a repository or to get notified when changes happen. So you can there are options you can pick from. So the one that is selected by default is only receive notifications from this repository when participating or when mentioned. When someone mentions a particular repository, you can be able to see, you can be able to follow up that activity, or you can select all activity to get notified of all notifications on this repository, the one that is selected currently. Then you can ignore so that you never be notified of any activities. Yeah. Then projects. We have another important part, project. It's the task boards help you to organize your work. So we have what we call the task boards, where you can organize your work. You can also use to do, in progress, done. So this way you can add the relevant stuff on your project so that you can organize your work. You can list those the things that are supposed to be done, those that are in progress, and the ones that are already done. So just like in other platforms like Trello, for instance, you can use that to keep track of the organization in your work. Then we have issues. So issues is just like a ticket or note about the bug stuff or enhancements. It also helps in managing the project work. So you can see here we have projects, we have milestones, we have assignees. So it's just like a ticket or a notebook, or just notes about tasks or enhancements to help you manage your project. Then we also have actions. So this part of GitHub is like an automation tool to run tests, deployments, or scripts whenever something changes in the repository. So you can see we have in the deployment. This is where you also have tasks. We have automation pages. So all these things shouldn't get you freaked out, because these are things that you will not use. You won't actually use everything at once. So you get to improve every other time you you use it. So we're just having an overview where you can understand this this platform. Then insights will give you analytics for contributors. It will also show the traffic on the repositories you've created or the pull request activities. And also, it basically just helps you monitor also the community. So with regard to your repository. So here, this is where it will show you the merged pull requests, open pull requests, closed issues, new issues. So since there hasn't been any commit on activity on this repository, then there's nothing to be shown here. And here, this is where you can select the period. If you want to view the analytics for a month, you can select a month, a week, 3 days, 24 hours. Yeah, so that's it about GitHub. Any questions? Anything you didn't understand?
I have put a question on chat. If you can check.
Okay. So Rami asks what git ignore is. So let me navigate back to that repository. So let me go to that emerged when we were creating this repository. Is that right? So let's just create another one so that you can see that. So this is where you picked it from. So the git ignore is a special file in a Git repository that tells Git which files or folders to ignore, meaning Git will not track or include them in the version control. So it chooses files that are not supposed to be tracked from a list of templates. And I want you to imagine like you are working on a coding project that creates temporary files, others some system generated folders, and things like security keys or passwords. So you do not, maybe you do not want to upload all this to GitHub because they are some of these things may be unnecessary for others, and some of them can be very huge, and they might also contain private or sensitive data, like in the case of passwords. So if you do not want to include them, this is where now Git comes in, and it protects your repository from any risks or clutter, or just so that the people who will have access to it are not mixed up. So in order to create a git ignore, you can you just create a file named git ignore, and that can be done through the command line. Also, you can type .git ignore. Then you add names or patterns of the files and folders that you want to ignore. Then you save your commit. And you don't have to worry also, because we'll do this practically. And I can see Douglas is requesting that we do this practically. So I'd like somebody to volunteer and share their screen so that we can see how we can, first of all, create a repository. Then you create a repository on your own. Then we also get to explore Git. So I'll stop sharing my screen. Douglas, are you able to share your screen?
I can share mine.
Okay, Michael, share.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So what exactly do you want me to do?
Yeah, I can see you've already created your first repository. So creating a repository is that simple. But now let's also let's see how we can upload a local file onto GitHub. So you can minimize this. Then you go to you can just navigate to the desktop.
So, okay.
From the desktop, I'd like you to create a new folder.
What do I call it?
Just name it. You can name it. Just name it class of 25.
Okay.
And then right click on that folder. Then so when you have git bash when you have git installed, then you have to open. You'll see the extra options to open git bash here. So you'll select open git bash here. Now the second one. So by doing that, you'll see git bash opening. Yeah, then the first thing you need to do is to introduce yourself to Git. So you can maximize that window for others to also be able to see what you're doing. So we are going to do our first commit to this. So there are some specific commands that you can use when you want to when you want to upload files that are locally stored in your computer to GitHub. So the first thing you need to do is to connect Git to your GitHub. So what you need to do there is you need to introduce yourself to Git by typing
There's something specific I need to type.
so there's some configuration you need to make by typing git config. So you can type git config, git space, there should be space between the words, then space, then 2 dashes, global username. Then at this point, you should also be knowing your username on GitHub.
That's it.
It's supposed to be global user.name.
So could you like put the command on the chat? Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
Hello? Yeah, so I think the best way is just to just type global user.name, then space, then in quotes, you can have your username as it is on GitHub. Then once you press enter, it automatically runs. So it's not in a Git directory. You can put the dashes, but no space between. Yeah, like that. Then user.name. Yeah, it's okay, it's fine. Now you can also command it to set the global email. User.email. Yeah. Okay, so in quotes, the email you use on GitHub. And then the first thing we need to do is to initialize our repository by typing git init. Yeah, that's it. Then you press enter. Yeah, so it has initialized an empty repository, which is okay because the folder currently contains nothing. But if you go into the folder, you'll see some file created within the folder. So at this point is where you now, if you have, oh, it's currently not. So if you have any files that you'd like to, any specific files that you'd like to push to your GitHub, you can put them inside this folder. So let's use a sample file. Maybe you can, if you have any, just anything that we can use for the purpose of learning. Just copy any document. It could be a file or anything. Just copy it on in that folder. Then we try and push it to GitHub. Is there anything you can add to that folder that we can yeah.
Yeah, I put the file.
Okay. So you can as well just close the folder. And then now there are ways of adding files into GitHub. So if you have a list of files and you want all of them to be pushed to GitHub, the command is git add. Git add, then space, then a period or a full stop. So that one adds every other thing that is within that folder. But if you have a specific one, then we'll also see later on how we can add a specific from a list. So by typing git add, it adds files to git tracking. So you can press enter to run it. So at this stage, all files in the folder are set up for commit. And now the next stage is to commit the changes. So for committing, we use git commit. Then space -m. So So press enter. Oh, it's price of value. So it seems the files in that folder have not been tracked yet. So let's try initializing the that folder, that repository again. Then git add.
So should you like specify the file name when you say git add?
Git commit is supposed to initialize to do the initial commit with project files. Okay, let me just try this on my end, then I'll tell you what to do.
Okay.
All right. So I figured out that we did not at the point where we need to commit, we need to specify the specific folder that we are the specific file that we are pushing to GitHub. So let's just restart the whole process.
Okay.
So let's change the directory first of all. Just
How do we do that?
just C and D, CD. So let's initialize git init. Then let's add that specific file. So what's the file name?
Class of 2025.
Git add. Let's use the period because there's only one file, and that is what we need to commit.
Just that. Enter.
Yeah. This is going to be a hard nut. Let's just close the terminal first of all.
How do you close it?
There's an X at the top right corner. Open the folder once more.
There you go.
Yeah, so step one is uh, to replace the that yours is creating it through the one. That's why we are having. So let's change the directory cd. Then the path of that. Are you able to copy the path of that folder?
Um, it's
Just
a
right click on it.
copy as
So open
path.
File Explorer, then click the address bar at the top. No. Just
Which
open
one?
the folder first.
Yeah.
Have you copied that? Then CD and you paste it there.
That one?
Yeah. So you can wrap it in quotes. Try wrapping it in quotes so that
What do you mean?
like CD, then you put it in quotes. You put what you copied in quotes.
like that?
Yeah. Yeah. So after having changed the path, we can now initialize. Git init. Git add.
Enter.
Yes. So git commit, then in quotes the file name. The commit has to have double M. Is it?
It's double M.
Yeah.
That way.
Is that the file name or the folder name?
This is the folder name.
Yeah, you need to copy the file name. Then
These
there
are
needs to be, copy the name of that file. Then before that, you can add a dash m. Then you now paste the file name.
so git commit -m.
Then space in quotes the file name. Then
Enter.
enter. Yeah, it has already been picked. Then we need to link it to the GitHub repository. So we can link it to the repository that we already have. So we'll type git remote add origin.
Git remote.
Add, then origin. Then go back to GitHub and copy the URL of that repository. So go back to GitHub.
Which one?
There's a URL. Are you seeing quick setup?
Where is that?
Quick setup. No. Just go back to the repository. Just click on it. Yeah. Then just on that menu, the one that is highlighted in sky blue, there's a URL. Just move it to the so move it to the far end to copy.
This one here?
Yeah. Then go back to that command line and add it there. Just click.
Do you have to put the quotes or as it is?
Yeah. Just as it is. Then press enter to run it. So that one replaces our username and the repository name with actual GitHub info. So the next step is to push the file to GitHub. So to push the file, you need to branch it. So you'll type git branch, then dash caps M, then main, then space, then you can type main. Yes, main. Enter. Yeah, so you'll realize in those lines that appear, they have been master all through. The ones that are highlighted in green. Is it green or turquoise? They are master all through, but when you branch it, when you enter the branch command, it changed to main. I don't know if you've noticed that at the end we have main. Yeah. So we now want to push it from the main. We want to push it as the main. Then we can be able to create branches out of the main. So you'll go to the next line, you type git push. You have to complete the command git push, then -u origin main. then enter.
Okay.
Did you press enter?
Yes.
Let's check if it has been pushed to GitHub. Or maybe you can maximize that terminal window. Move the cursor to the end of that main, the last line you typed. Then press enter. Let's navigate to GitHub and refresh the repository to see if it has been uploaded. Just open that one. Just click on it to open it.
This one? Yeah.
Yes. Oh, there's a there's that list of that menu where we were accessing our repository, where you need to go to access your repositories. Next to it, those three lines. That's kind of like a navigation bar. That one. Yeah, click on
This one?
yeah.
Seems to be back here.
It needs to be showing the way I showed you mine, the one that I had created previously. So it seems not to have. So if time maybe we can, since we have other sessions, we can show his credential now.
I'm not sure what's that.
So let me share my screen to show you the. So if it's uploaded in the right way, then this is how it's supposed to be like when you go to that repository. So if I click on this one, it should be able to show me the files that have been added and the timelines. So maybe we can call it off to tomorrow's class. But the learning tips are to first of all change the directory to your folder. Then you start Git within the folder by using the git init command. Then you add the file by git add. If you're adding all the files within that folder, then you use git add, then a period. But if if you're adding a specific file, then the file name and the extension of that file name, depending on the type of file it is. If it's an Excel file, it will be XLS. If it's a document, it will be DOCX. Then you also need to save it, and you save it with the message. Maybe you can say, this is my first commit or something of this. So then you connect to GitHub by using the repository, the specific repository. Then you can upload it by pushing using the origin main.
And then Madam Brand. So probably
Yes.
maybe you can also teach them the easiest way without writing the codes.
Okay. So any questions? Or we can.
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Douglas.
Yeah, let me speak for myself because I like being a little honest. Is there a way that, for somebody like me, or let's say somebody who is not with a strong IT background and is really interested in, learning the high level of everything, to simplify the introduction so that, we can carry along and be able to understand better and more?
Yeah, I want to answer that, Douglas. I mean, I noticed that it's a bit complex for the first day. But
Yeah.
remember, this is not training. This is pre-training. This is just additional module that we brought in to help you understand how you can be able to use GitHub. Remember, I've just talked to Malim. I just told Marim to use the simplest way. So this is the hardest way. And so when you start from the hardest way, and then it brings you the easiest way. That way you can upload without even writing codes. It's very possible. I don't have to know all what he was teaching. But as somebody who may be eager to understand the reason behind what you're doing, then it's good to start from here. So you don't have, no one will ask you to write those codes that he's writing. No one will ask you to write a code when you're uploading. You can upload without really writing any code. So this was just to, open up your mind to tell you that if you're interested in knowing how to do coding or write codes using GitHub, then you can do. So yes, we're not started training yet. So when you start training, it will be simplest way, like the basic things. And that will start probably next week.
Yeah, maybe to just add on that also. In everything, in some of these things, we have shortcuts, and we have the right way in which things are supposed to be done. So sometimes you might be required. There are projects that you might want to work on, and maybe you need to like have people contribute every now and then. So that calls for you to to push the files in the right way. And if it's just a matter of copying and you won't understand really how to make how to commit the changes and how to do all that. So it's better you understand it from the perspective we are using. Then later on, you can know how to just drag and drop. It's like drag and drop. Just the same way we have people who know how to create websites from scratch, and we also have others who can create them from templates. So it's better to understand both so that you'll be on the safer side. But all in all, after the 3 sessions that we're going to have, we're going to see to it done that all of you will have understood how to use GitHub and anything that deals with GitHub. But it shouldn't be a worry to you. It's not that difficult. Once you're used to these things, then you can always. And when you encounter challenges like the ones we've just encountered, is when you now get to understand it even better.
Okay, thanks for clarification. So I guess another follow-up question is well, I saw that I created GitHub in 2020, but looking back at it, I don't even understand what I was doing. Looking back, I was like, what?
Yeah, these things you need to always practice.
Yes. So I guess the follow-up question is, in your opinion, what are the basic things you need to have knowledge of before you take this class? Do I need to have a basic understanding of Excel? Do I need to have a basic understanding of, what basic understanding should be a precursor to this?
Yeah, so maybe let me ask you, Douglas. There's no prerequisite to this class. As long as you have high school, that is good enough. So we've been in this class, so we've had people who have PhDs doing their second PhDs. We've had people who have just finished high school. So the most important thing is after high school. As long as you've done high school, you're good. I think Douglas, we're worrying too much. This is the first class. Don't worry. So yeah, I told you, no, this is not even part of the training. Remember, this is pre-training. We've not started training. So when you start training, we're going to start from the simplest way. Like the question, I'm going to teach you that. And the question will be, what do you expect? What do you know? What don't you know? So after that, we are able to understand students. We're going to start from the point that we assume everyone does not know, and they're here to learn.
Okay.
Yeah.
And pardon my question.
And also, Douglas, we are always available for if you didn't understand anything, just you are always free to reach out at any given time.
Okay.